Yo, it's Wisdom Wednesday. This is Miss Pillars. I am excited to be back here again today. The first thing that we're going to do is recap. What did we learn about last week? We learned about how to make learning stick. What was the number one way to do that? Testing yourself, quizzing yourself. What do you remember without looking at notes and pretending that you actually know it? So grabbing that before it goes into the trash and gets lost forever. Number 2, talked about explaining it to yourself in your own words, explaining it to a 5-year-old because it makes different pathways. And then number 3, being able to practice daily. You guys, I feel like I'm repeating this a whole lot, but yes, those little steps, a little bit each day, a little bit. Remember we talked about dumping a whole bucket of water on your plants or your garden versus just a little bit each day, or Lionel Messi doing all of his practice in one day and then being ready for the big game on the weekend. Doesn't work like that. So hopefully you tried one of these strategies, or at least 2, 3, I don't know. And I hope that you were able to share what you learned with somebody else. And I do hope you'll be able to share what we learned today with somebody else as well. This topic is 2 different requests from students combined into one. I know there were requests for self-care, also some discussion around anxiety. So I think today's 3 tips will help you feel better and take better care of you. Let's get started. And as always, remember that when we are talking about these things, have that clipboard in your mind. Be a scientist, be an explorer of your own life and say, okay, this works for me, this doesn't work for me, how can I make this better? And then move along forward with it. Not everything works for everybody, but these are pretty solid tips to try. Number 1, did you know that screen size might just correlate to depression and self-esteem? If you have a large desktop computer, maybe you have your keyboard here, right? And there's your desktop monitor. Chances are you are going to be seated up straight. Remember a couple weeks ago we talked about that power pose where your body is expansive and you are reducing that cortisol, that stress hormone, by being expansive and being positive. If you have a smaller screen, if you have a laptop, you're going to start hunching over and your neck is going to be tilted forward as you type on that laptop. If you have a tablet or an iPad, then you are going to be even more hunched over and more. You're going to get smaller and smaller. And lastly, you know where I'm going with this, right? If you have your cell phone, you are really hunched over. It's magnified how tiny and how small you are making yourself, and that just decreases all those benefits of that expansive power pose, good posture, good breathing. When you're crunched over like this, the weight of your head, about 25 pounds, is crunching down on your neck. You can breathe, but you can't breathe optimally. So you want to sit up straight, hold your phone out like that. You think it's silly? If you get tired holding your phone out like that, then maybe it's time for you to put that phone away and try something different. But if you feel that you are not very confident or you're getting a little bit depressed, think about how much time you spent hunched over your phone and working on that. And there's a whole other system or series in place about anxiety and depression on social media, but we're not talking about that today. Just look at your physiological posture. Sit up straight, hold that phone out in front of you. Number 2, water your brain. One of the biggest things that I want to tell you about today is that there's serotonin, which is a feel-good hormone. It's all about your happiness, your well-being. 80 to 90% of that serotonin is produced in your gut. You have 100 million neurons. Remember neurons? Those are the brain cells. You actually have 100 million neurons in your gut, right? They are producing 80 to 90% of the serotonin that is in your body, the feel-good hormone, not in your brain. So you want to take care of what's going on in your gut. And a lot of that has to do with nutrition. But today's tip, I'm going to focus on water. So instead of drinking those sodas, instead of drinking fruit juices, anything that's artificially flavored, you want to replace it with water. 2/3 of your body is comprised of water. That includes your cells, your muscles, your organs, even your brain. And it has a really important role to play. It delivers nutrients throughout your system. It also flushes out and takes away those toxic wastes. You know that you can go without food for a couple of weeks, but you can only go without water for a couple of days. So it's definitely it's clear that water is critical for your well-being. Drink more water. It will also give you lots of energy and keep those joints lubricated, so when you start moving a little bit more, you'll feel better. Number 3. Oops, let me just draw you, right? You've got to be drinking. Here's your water bottle. Got water in there. Here we go. Sorry, I almost forgot to draw. Got really long legs there, but you've got a lot of energy because you're drinking water. And the last one, number 3, is to take a nature bath. I love being outside. I know that it's something that's really important for my well-being when I feel stressed out, even just to go sit outside. But what I want to encourage you to do is combine 2 things, kind of a stealth 4th point here. Seek out opportunities to move. This will also be a big help for you if you are depressed or your self-esteem is really low. Move. Take a little walk, take a short walk, but go outside. So there are lots of studies that show how much creativity is boosted when you're outside. You have a sense of peace and calm if you can look up at the trees. Just following the branches with your eyes is a sort of meditation that people have talked about. And even in Japan, we have a phenomenon known as forest bathing, where people actually make time to go outside in the forest and just soak in all of the good vibes that come out of being in fresh air. So I encourage you, go ahead and find some opportunities to move, and especially if you are outside. Yes, there we go. Looking up at the trees, looking up at the sky, checking out the clouds, take a nature bath. So let's recap. This is pretty good. I mean, this is a lot of self-care. If you can try these 3 tips this week, you will be on your path to feeling at least a little bit better. Number 1, check out your screen size and your self-esteem. If you are constantly hunched over on that iPhone or whatever mobile phone you have, double check. Get your posture, sit up straight, hold your phone out in front of you so it's eye level. And if you get tired, put it to the side. Like, get rid of it. Number 2, water your brain. You've got to keep drinking water. Substitute water for all those sugary artificial drinks, and that will be a big step in the right direction. Number 3, seek those opportunities to move. You guys are at home and you're sedentary quite a bit now, so find a time to move every single hour. If you can go outside, that is a bonus. All of that works together to help you feel better. My question for you today, what do you really want? Do you want to be healthy? Do you want to be happier? And I'm going to put really. Like, really, truly want. Do you want to feel better? Because if you do, then you're going to choose to do something that takes better care of yourself. So my second question is, what will you choose to do? And the optimal word here is today. No better time like today. And remember, if your journey stalls or you find yourself on a detour, make your way back. Double check. What am I doing? Am I sitting up straight? Is my posture good? Am I drinking enough water? And am I moving outside? All right, you guys, that's a lot to take in, but it's really important for your soul. So get on it and instead of have an astonishing day, go be astonishing, because that's even better. Talk to you next week. Bye, you guys.